it is possible for you to look at yourself and say, this thing that is happening to my family, I can end it. I can end it. I can end it. Now, ending it is possible, but it requires force. Where I find myself now, I can go out of this place now. It's possible. But you have to force it. Now, you don't force situation first. You force yourself. The beginning of that force is to find out why you are the way you are and what you're contributing. What you're contributing. And then after you have discovered why you are the way you are and what you're contributing, you stop your contribution. You say, if this is what I'm contributing, then I'm not going to contribute to it. That I'm not going to contribute. I won't contribute anymore. I am not going to. No. Kennedy, the birth of new self. Birth of new self. Write it down. That's what I'm preaching on Sunday. I'm going to preach 2 times. I'll get the other one before I go out. Now, listen. You can end poverty. But if you want to end it, you discover what you're contributing. I said, you discover what you're contributing. There is nothing that can change if we make up our mind with strength and focus and vision to end it. If you look at the Bible, Jacob and Esau, they were twins. And as they were coming out, the hand of Jacob was on the heel of Esau. Because it is there, if you like, you will say God wanted Esau to be firstborn. So he came out first. But the hand of Jacob was on the heel. And Jacob stayed with Esau until Esau lost it. I don't want to play with people like Jacob. If you see someone like Jacob around you, you better be careful. You better be careful with a Jacob. A Jacob is somebody who have determination, who is determined enough to take something that belongs to you. By all means. If this guy didn't get to porridge, he will kill an animal in the house and give your father meal and still take the blessing. This is somebody whose hand is always on the heel of his brother, even in the womb. So if he miss it in A, he will go about it in the B. If he miss it in the B, he will go about it in the C. Because the guy is desperate. And even if he miss it in A and B and C, he will start fighting with himself. In 32 of Genesis, he will start doing what? And after paying such attention to himself, God caused Esau to lose it. That means something that came the way it came can still be altered. Naturally, when Isaac was about to bless, he didn't call Jacob. No, he didn't say, Jacob, get me vinegar. No, because he knew that Jacob can't take it. He didn't call Jacob. But because of the curiosity of Jacob and the mother, they eavesdropping. They eavesdropped where they were discussing. Isaac and Esau, they were talking. And Rebecca had it. And then Jacob, because they were curious. They were curious about swapping it. You know the story. The vehemence brought it. If a young man is poor, then he likes poverty. He is supporting poverty. If somebody is in pain, he loves it. He loves the pain. You see, because destiny are not forged. Destiny of men cannot be forged by God. No. Destiny cannot be forged by God. Any destiny God gives to you, it is you that will forge it. It's you that will forge it. So you have to produce material to forge it. Now, if a man didn't forge it, then it is not his. So it is possible for somebody to be born a king and he still died as a beggar. Let me say again. I said somebody who is born a king can still die as a beggar. Why not? Because no matter how great you are at birth, you must take responsibility for rule. And the responsibility is human. Did you hear what I said? There is no destiny that was forged on earth that God didn't get something from a man. Let me say it again. There is no destiny that was forged that God didn't. No, God has to get something from a man. So if you said, somebody say, God says it, and I believe it, that settles it. It's not true. That God said it does not mean it is settled. You have to do your part. I have seen people who are suffering. They say, I know what I saw. I know what I saw. I know what God showed me. Excuse me, I don't care what God is showing you. I care about what you're working out. After you have seen it, the honor of seeing it, that you should persuade what you're seeing to affect your attitude. You say you saw. Whatever you see, you should connect to it through your human contribution. Let me say again. I say whatever you see. This thing I'm telling you is the point of delay of so many believers. What I did yesterday, I've never done it since this year. That is stretch. I wrote 3 chapters of different books in one stretch. Okay, since this week, have I gone to IVG? I've not prayed once there. I've not come there. Now, I've not come there because I'm very busy inside. Am I saying something? Am I saying something? You can force yourself out of poverty. You can force yourself out of sickness. If people die in your family every 3 years, you can end it. You can force it to end. You can. Now, excuse me, if any human being died, whatever that killed any human being is human. And whatever that will stop death, it will still be human. Listen, I say whatever that brought death is human. If people are dying every 3 years, then somebody caused it. Man, not a demon. And then if it has to end, then somebody should end it. Death came into the destiny of man through Adam. And when God wanted to end it, he brought another Adam. He didn't come from heaven. That means that great character that represents royalty is a great gift. If you're a woman, there are children that when they are born and they are with you, you know the problems will end. Because their personality cannot tolerate certain things. Their endowment, the seed of their value, will never tolerate ordinariness. Will not? No. Whatever that reigned in a family was tolerated. Whatever that reigned in a town was tolerated. It was tolerated and it reigned. So if God said, I will do it, then there will be human beings that he must do it through. If somebody don't want to be sick, then he should force sickness to end. Now, like we're going to be in Galilee, in Galilee between 10 and 22. Now, I am going to make it compulsory for all locals who their life has been death have attempted their life, to come there for fasting. People who their life have been delayed so much. And then pastors and intercessors. And people who want to force new miracles in their life. Now, what I'm going to do there in 10 days is to force things, is to force a clean break from the past. We're going to spend 10 days of pain to force a clean break. Come, this thing has happened to me, but I'm going to end it. So you willingly walk out. You stay in pain to walk out. I say you stay in pain to do what? To walk out. You depend on pain to say, I'm ending this. I'm ending this. I'm ending this. I will end this thing in my story. I will end it for my brothers. I'm going to end this. This thing cannot be our destiny. This thing can't be my destiny. I'm going to end it. That is what is called forcing what? A break from the past. Maybe you're hearing me, and everybody that have ever married in your family, they all married poor people. That is when girls grow up, the only people that love them are suffering men. There are families like that. People that when they want to pay dowry, you will make up. Someone say, get behind me, Satan. Now that is an abomination for you to make up. The guy is coming to pay dowry that day, and the heel of his shoe had a problem. So you took him to a cobbler. And then when he came, I said, family people said, what do you go say there? Where are the man? That is, you brought hellfire to your family. That man is hellfire. That is his name. You don't need him. If you dishonor me, if you play with me, you live with him 3 months. And all the people that know you, when they see you, they won't even know it's you. I have seen people like that. This girl was very fair and beautiful, fine hair, and now she's married after 9 months. After 9 months, something I cannot say at the altar start happening. It's not your portion. Poverty is shielded by darkness. Poverty is shielded by darkness. Anywhere poverty reigned, it was protected. Anywhere lack reigned, it was protected. If it is not protected, it will never reign. Anywhere people died, it was protected. Death was protected. Death was protected by those that died. Instead of exposing death, misery to fire, they shielded it. Now, when they shield it, it hurt them. Now, how did they shield it? People shield evil, shield poverty by allowing the mentality of poverty to reign over them. Isaiah 9, 1 and 2. They allow the mentality. Poverty